FoxDen Radio, the place where the Fox Finance community meets to chat, get updates from the team, conduct interviews, and answer questions. My name is Dave, also known as The Dude Abides in Canada.
Life goes on, man.
I'm the founder of the FoxDen and the host of FoxDen Radio. Join us as we grow this FoxDen Radio project, and you will gain the power to answer life's most mysterious question.
What does the fox say? The secret of the fox, ancient mystery, somewhere deep in the woods. I know you're hiding. What is your sound? Will we ever know? Will always be a mystery. What do you say?
Well, what does the FoxDen team have to say today?
All right, welcome everybody to the team portion of the show. We're fortunate today to have Daniel Martinez, Solo Fox, here on FoxDen Radio. Welcome.
Hey, dude, how you doing? Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it.
Yeah, doing great, thanks. So just wanted to get some insight of what you're up to here at Fox Finance. One thing that's cool has been an idea that's come back again is the moderator contest. Can you tell us a little bit what that's all about?
Yeah, it's an exciting time. We get the community to engage and help out with FUD and direct new members to the proper resources and information they need. Which in fact, that forum that you have created will be very unique for that. So we could direct people straight to that source of information that'll be a legit, a legit source that people could rely on. But as far as the moderator contest is going, we have a little bit over 10 participants. I think it's like 12. So it's pretty exciting. They're actually working on a Fox in Action. Joe was talking about it. So I think he's going to actually lead that Fox in Action. So it's some exciting times coming up.
Cool. So, if people want to, win this moderator contest, what can they do to stand out from the crowd?
I mean, it's a pretty simple process. Is just helping us where we need help, basically, and being there for us. So a few things they could do, obviously, is help out with just answering some questions here and there on the forum. On the Telegram, sorry. Also, socializing on the Facebook page. I mean, we have different avenues of social media. Discord, I wish would be a little bit more of people engaging there, but it seems like Telegram is where it's at for some reason. I don't know if it's easier to access on your phone or the memes and the information gets through a lot easier. But that seems to be one of the platforms that everyone seems to gravitate to.
Right. So that could be a way to stand out as well if people are being active on platforms like Discord or Reddit, like we're looking for people that are helping the project, right? So different ways that you could stand out. You mentioned memes as well. That's something that I've always liked and just kind of a fun thing, right? Because it's about helping, but also it's being part of the community and creating kind of like a welcoming atmosphere for new people. And if you could join a project and you see that there's community members actively making their own memes, they're having fun in the chat, it's something that helps to build confidence. So that's something else that people can do.
Yeah, that's actually something that it's not that we're lacking that. It's the fact of the shilling, I think, that we're lacking more than anything. And we're going to help with that coming up in the next few weeks with some advertising that we're going to do on different exchanges and other promotions that we have working.
Great. That's awesome. What about NFTs? There's been a lot of work going into this, been bringing on new people. Can you tell us about what's latest in the world of Fox Finance NFTs?
I mean, yeah, without trying to give away too much information, but we've been working on that Actually the whole team, but Viora has been working on it really hard, and I and you and a bunch of us. Um, it, it's how can I say, we're actually a couple of phases ahead of ourselves, if that even makes sense. But we have already new collection coming out too, a Christmas one that we talked about in the last weekly statement. And we have a few other ones. Actually, we have some nice 3D NFTs coming out also, and those are actually already almost finished. I don't know the prices on those yet, and I know the Christmas ones will be around 1 billion Fox tokens, so that's going to be a really good price. If people are interested in purchasing those, I would recommend you buying tokens now, eat the dip, and enjoy the profits later. And we also have a few other collections coming out, and I don't have a timeline on those yet, but I would say in another week we should have like at least 15 to 20 NFTs coming out.
Wow, that's awesome. And then, for long term, this is still kind of in the planning phase, but the whole metaverse idea for creating content for the metaverse. So, do I have this right? If a NFT is a 3D NFT, that can be a part of the metaverse.
Well, to a certain extent, we still would have to do those back end codes to allow it to be on the Web3. But yes, that's the plan. As long as they can be in 3D NFTs, you should be able to implement them into the Web3 later.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this is an exciting thing to, be part of some of the cutting edge developments in the crypto space. And yeah, still in the research phase, but we're interested in that part of the Binance metaverse and looking forward to potential opportunities there. How about Fox in Action? What can you tell me what's going on there?
With the Fox in Action, I don't want to give out the details on it because I'm trying to leave it up to the moderators to run it, this one. And like I was saying before, Joe's working on it, and we're gonna just help him out with the final details and things like that and how to vet it and stuff. But it's gonna be similar to the one that we did last time, with people taking wildlife photos. But this time we're gonna make it a little easier for everyone. They could probably take pictures of their loved pets at home. So that's gonna be pretty unique to see the different animals that people have as pets and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is cool. And I was talking with him about this, and the purpose of Fox in Action is all about kind of helping and loving animals, right? I mean, there's different ways we could reward people. So we're developing this whole forum for the community online. And one of the things that we have the ability to give people is badges. So you can have badges for achieving certain things or for having a certain status that you can kind of show off to the rest of the community. And I was thinking that maybe people that participate in this could get like a badge to say that they're like an animal ally or something like that, right? So,
well, yeah, that would be possible because as it stands now, we're trying to do create these avatars that would be implemented on the forum also.
yeah, right. So that's the thing, is that we could do some of these things where they're kind of more like social rewards, right? So within the community, you get some sort of status, or you could get maybe you could unlock certain avatars, that kind of thing. So, to find ways where people are kind of showing their love for animals and participating, that's maybe a little easier for entry for like a first participation. And then maybe if they're, involved in the community over time, they start stepping up and getting involved in bigger and bigger Fox in Action activities. So yeah, I think there's a lot of cool opportunity there.
Especially with the gamify.
Yeah, that's kind of the future. I actually have an article today in the crypto news section all about that. How about how GameFi is almost starting to overtake DeFi in terms of some recent volume, and it's crazy. And I think that's really the opportunity for crypto to go to the masses. People play like little games on their phone to earn pennies all the time. If people can start earning crypto by playing games, then I think we're going to see more mainstream adoption.
Well, yeah, and if you look at it now with the NFT marketplace and stuff that's coming out, with people with NFTs, there's a lot of key players like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. There was a bunch of names that are like just coming out now, and it's like wow. So obviously, there's a reason these big corporations are getting involved because they see the dollar signs at the end of the rainbow, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
But the thing is, we have the infrastructure; they don't. So that's the difference. You know, they're on the outside trying to look in to make money off of our basically our progress in a sense.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about the metaverse too, is that it's, you know, the future is not really determined there, because there's going to be like the corporate metaverse, like the Facebook metaverse, which is
And
all
decentralized.
about centralized and, you know,
Yep.
really just kind of that pure kind of consumerism side of things. And then there's going to be the decentralized metaverse, where it's more like innovative and creative and about technology rather than, you know, just pure money agendas, right? And yet decentralizing the power, not centralize it even further, right? So yeah, it's kind of a cool battleground in like the Matrix coming up here.
I know it's funny that like we see it happening, but other people don't see it. They just see the aftermath, you know. And right now the only reason is not progressing as fast is because people are fighting over the territory instead of just working together and just leaving it decentralized. You know, I don't think anyone should own the websites. That's just not fair.
Right.
So
yeah, interesting stuff. Well, hey, thanks a lot for coming on today and being interviewed there, Daniel. It's always good to talk with you.
Yeah, it's cool. And one more thing I want to touch on too, maybe we could bring it up in the recording later, the auction hall. So, you know, that right there, we should have that going in like I would say another 7 to 10 days or less. And the potential there is endless. So what we're working on right now, we're actually in the process of trying to set BNB as a payment on our marketplace, so our auction hall, as a starting point. And maybe in the future we could implement other tokens that we could take as payments or to pay out when they sell off NFT in the auction hall. But as it stands right now, people will be able to sell any NFT that they purchased on the BSC chain in our marketplace. And as payment, they will receive Fox at the moment. So once we could switch off and offer BNB or other tokens as payments, I think it would really drive traffic through the marketplace.
Cool. Yeah, that's a great reminder about that. And that's something that we've been developing for a while. And yeah, I think that's going to bring a lot of attention and volume to Fox as well. So yeah, thanks for the reminder about the NFT auction hall.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. All right, dude. It was awesome, man. Thanks for inviting me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Have a good one.
All right. You have a great day. Talk to you later.
Yeah, dude. I'll talk to you later. All right, everyone, let's take a break, listen to some more music. We're going to go back to the well with one of the dude's all-time favorite producers, Future Primitive. So this one is called Lucid Dream, and close my eyes and see what I can feel. Trippy song about an active dream state. So I hope you enjoy the good vibes from Future Primitive in Lucid Dream.
I close my eyes to see what I can feel. Oh, how else am I to know if this is really happening? Inside I'm spinning around, but I'm standing still. I've waited here so long, now it's time to steal away again. find myself in the endless oceans of my mind till then.
Up next, we've got environmental news with Fox Finance team member Megan. She's here to give some updates. Welcome, Megan.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to share a couple of updates with you all gathered from the past couple of months. I felt called to give the gift of good news with some groundbreaking progress in the world's environmental sectors. First, I'll read some information from an article from the Fur Free Alliance website. Historic news: France bans the farming of wild animals for their fur. In a historic move on November 18th, 2021, the French Senate voted by an overwhelmingly majority in favor of legislation to end the farming of wild animals for their fur. The ban will go into immediate effect and will see the 2 remaining French mink fur farms shut down. With 332 votes in favor and only 1 against, the Senate showed immense support to make fur production history. Muriel Arnal from One Voice says, "There are only 2 mink farms left in France, but as we requested, this ban has been expanded to all wild animals being bred for their fur. We welcome this important step forward and hope that it will inspire the countries that have not yet taken the decision to ban the exploitation of foxes, minks, chinchillas. Global society is calling for this progress. It is time." A number of recent investigations by the French member organization One Voice laid bare the cruel conditions under which animals were kept on French fur farms. The undercover footage recorded in 2017, 2019, and in 2020 revealed shocking examples of animal suffering, including mink with physical injuries kept in appalling conditions and displaying stereotypical behavior. Some of them had injured eyes, missing teeth, missing tails, paralyzed and necrotic legs, and skin diseases. Following ongoing public opposition, last year the French government announced a proposal to prohibit mink fur production, with a phase-out period of 5 years. Together with One Voice, the Fur Free Alliance urged the French government to take immediate action and shut down France's last remaining fur farms. The November 18th decision that a ban will take immediate effect and will cover the farming of wild animals for their fur is celebrated by NGOs around the world and will serve as an example for other countries to follow. In the past 5 years alone, animal welfare concerns have led 8 countries to adopt legislation to end the animal cruelty on fur farms. Discussions on the prohibition of fur farming are currently being considered in Latvia, Lithuania, Spain, Ukraine, and Bulgaria. Earlier this month as well, in the wake of infectious diseases being spread into the human population as the leading cause for final advocacy, the province of BC, Canada's government have decided upon the phase-out of mink farming by 2023. Rebecca Aldworth, Executive Director of HSI Canada, stated, "It is the abysmal conditions and horrendous suffering on factory fur farms that make these facilities incubators for COVID-19 and other respiratory illnesses. Mink farming is exceptionally cruel, intensively confining, highly intelligent semi-aquatic wild animals, and denying them their most basic of needs. The COVID-19 pandemic has redefined our relationship with animals and our environment, calling into question many formally accepted practices. In protecting both people and mink, the BC government has shown tremendous leadership and set an example for the rest of the nation to follow." This information I sourced from the article on the Humane Society International's website. HSI Canada applauds BC government's decision to ban mink farming. A sincere thank you to the BC SPCA, fur bearers, HSI Canada, and the Union of BC Indian Chiefs for calling for the end to fur farming in BC. Next, I'd like to share with you some of the article written by Jay Cannon for USA Today. An update on the work being performed on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, October 21st, 2021. They pulled 63,000 pounds of trash from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, but that's just the start. A fridge, toilet seats, and more than 63,000 pounds of trash. That's what a month's cleanup team recovered in a long effort to chip away at the so-called Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a massive collection of marine debris plaguing the Pacific Ocean. A half-mile-long trash trapping system named Jenny was sent out in late July to collect waste, pulling out many items that came from humans, like toothbrushes, VHS tapes, golf balls, shoes, and fishing gear. Jenny made 9 trash extractions over the 12-week cleanup phase, with one extraction netting nearly 20,000 pounds of debris by itself. The mountain of recovered waste arrived in British Columbia, Canada this month, with much of it set to be recycled. But this was not a one-off initiative. In fact, it was simply a testing phase. And the cleanup team is hoping it's only the start of more to come. More equipment, more extractions, and cleaner oceans. The catalyst behind the cleaning is the Ocean Cleanup, a non-profit trying to rid the world's oceans of plastic. Boyan Slat, who founded the organization in 2013 at the age of 18, called the most recent testing phase a success, but there's still much to be done. The 27-year-old from the Netherlands said the group can enter a new phase of cleanup after testing eased some scalability concern and proved that the system could accomplish what it was designed to do: collect debris. The goal wasn't to maximize catch, otherwise the operation would have looked a lot different, Slat told USA Today. The primary goal was to collect data, not plastic. The testing phase was a step forward in completing the organization's lofty set of goals. It hopes to deploy enough cleaning systems to reduce the size of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch by 50% every 5 years, and to initiate a 90% reduction in floating ocean plastic by 2040. Netting 63,000 pounds of trash is an eye-popping number, but it pales in comparison to the enormity of the patch, which covers an area twice the size of Texas or 3 times the size of France, according to the Ocean Cleanup. The group estimates the inner part of patch contains more than 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic that amount to roughly 88,000 tons. though the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration cautions that it's tough to make a true estimate on its size due to constantly changing borders and content. The patch is fueled in part by a steady stream of trash and debris that flows from rivers into oceans. A peer-reviewed study published in 2017 estimated between 1.27 million and 2.66 million tons of plastic waste flows into oceans via rivers every year. Another study published in April put that estimation between 880,000 and 3 million tons. If it doesn't wash right back onto shore, debris flowing from rivers can be pushed by ocean currents and end up in the North Pacific Gyre, one of the world's 5 major gyres and the glue that holds the Great Pacific Garbage Patch together. That's where SLAT hopes to build up a fleet of cleaning systems that can greatly reduce the size of the waste patch over time. SLAT said the ocean cleanup will shift its focus back to cleaning the patch when Jenny, the prototype cleaning system, gets deployed back into the Pacific to collect anywhere from 22,000 to 33,000 pounds of waste every week. While Jenny tackles the garbage patch, the ocean cleanup will work on a larger full-scale cleaning system set to be released in summer 2022 that expects to be the blueprint for creating a fleet of systems. SLAT projects they will need 10 full-scale systems to clean the patch at a rate of just under 20,000 tons per year, which would put the group on par to reach its goal of reducing the mass by 50% in 5 years. Reducing the existing patch is only one phase of the battle, though. We need to clean the legacy, but we also need to tackle the source, SLAT said. The ocean cleanup plans to roll out new devices called interceptors that aim to trap waste in rivers before they enter the ocean. The solar-powered contraptions, which closely resemble a boat, use a long barrier to direct waste towards a conveyor belt that drops all the debris into dumpsters. 3 interceptors are already up and running in rivers around the world, one in Indonesia, one in Malaysia, and one in the Dominican Republic. Another one in Vietnam is installed, but it not yet operational, a spokesperson from the ocean cleanup said. One may ask, where does all the waste go? The ocean cleanup says 95% of the plastic it collects can be recycled. The organization has already begun turning that plastic into products like sunglasses to be sold on its website. SLAT said the group will soon pivot away from sunglasses and is in contract with brands to create other products. For other objects like wood, glass, and the remaining plastic that can't be recycled, the group manages the waste in accordance with local legislations as it explores alternative recycling options, a group spokesperson said. Turning ocean waste into products is one stream of income from the nonprofit, which will be relying heavily on funding as it looks towards scaling up its fleet of cleaning systems and taking aim at its sky-high goals. Honestly, we can go faster if the resources are available, the spokesperson said. It's really just a question of money. The ocean cleanup says it receives funding from philanthropic, commercial, and governmental donations and sponsorships. Funding is one of the many hurdles that lie ahead for the ocean cleanup and for SLAT, who embarked on this journey after he went on a scuba diving trip when he was 16 and saw more plastic bags than fish. Last week, seeing the plastic on the ship, seeing all those containers being offloaded, I know it's still a long journey ahead, but it was quite a relief, SLAT said. It's within the realm of possibility for the first time since the invention of plastic that we can clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Thank you for tuning in with me today. I will now end this segment with a track by Walter Dawn called Magnificent Montague. The remix version sounds Dub-O-Matic.
I think it still sounds good today. It's pretty funky, and although the sounds are all very electronic, they're not cliched sounds, so they haven't been diluted over time by repeated use by other people. I think it's a pretty unusual sound. To compare it to anything else, really.
All right, let's turn to the crypto news section of FoxDen Radio. This article is from Bloomberg.com. Crypto play to earn GameFi apps surpass DeFi in user popularity by Olga Karif. While DeFi has become a popular buzzword among the crypto hip, it turns out that GameFi is increasingly where the action is these days. Nearly 50% of active cryptocurrency wallets connected to decentralized applications in November were for playing games, according to crypto data tracker DappRadar. The percentage of wallets linked to decentralized finance, or DeFi, dApps fell to 45% during the same period after months of being the leading dApp use case. Advocates see room for even wider participation. More than 104,000 people played Axie Infinity over a recent 24-hour period. Blockbuster online video games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive attract more than 700,000 players on the Steam streaming service. DeFi is still where much of the money is, but gaming is catching up. The top 5 gaming dApps recently had a total balance of invested funds of more than $14 billion, compared to with $130 billion for the top 5 DeFi apps over the last 30 days. Players use these funds to play and earn returns. The gamers also benefit when tokens they earn in games appreciate. Axie's AXS token has jumped to $102 from 53 cents at the beginning of the year. Many players are also renting out their digital goods to others in a similar fashion as in DeFi. Although dApp games' financial features can be equally complicated and risky, the sci-fi planets and cute cartoon characters can ease the way to diving in. In a typical arrangement, owners let someone else use their digital characters or spaceships or land, and the renter splits the gaming profits, often 50-50, or pays fees. Rental and other income can be more than $100,000 a month. To find players to rent their digital properties, some owners employ scouts. The scouts pick out new players, and then they get a share of the players' earnings too. Other owners actually hire marketing firms, like Michael Bonham's EOS USA, which gives players rewards to play on specific digital lands in a game called Alien Worlds, where players fly spaceships to distant planets. The marketer gets a piece of the player's income or a fee, depending on the deal, and his company also owns some lands in Alien Worlds that it rents out too. He said, quote, "There's much more opportunity in the gaming space than there is in the DeFi space. There's only so many banks, but there's always a brand new game of the week. It's much more of an expansive pace. In my opinion, there's more opportunity to potentially make money." And that was Michael Bonin. So pretty cool, interested in the possibilities of GameFi with Fox Finance. It's part of our vision for down the road, having that as part of our website and forum. Different ways we're going to try and reward people for participating in Fox Finance. All right, next article from CNBC.com. Bitcoin mining has totally recovered from Chinese ban. You remember back when the Chinese crypto banned everything? Well, thanks. Now the rest of the world has picked up the slack. Bitcoin mining has totally recovered from the Chinese crypto crackdown that took more than half the world's miners offline virtually overnight earlier this year. The recovery is measured by looking at hash rate, a term used to describe the computing power of all miners in the Bitcoin network. China had long been the epicenter of this industry, with past estimates indicating that 65 to 75% of the world's Bitcoin mining happened there. But after Beijing effectively banished the country's cryptocurrency miners in May, more than 50% of Bitcoin's hash rate dropped off the global network. As of Friday, data from blockchain.com shows the network has completely pared back those losses. The network's hash rate is up about 113% in 5 months. The upward momentum in hash rate may bode well for the price of the world's most popular cryptocurrency, which is down 30% over the last month. China's ban was a clear buy signal, just as it was with Google and Facebook before it, according to Bitcoin mining engineer Brandon Afghanani, who now runs Meow, a company that enables corporate treasury participation in crypto markets. But for him, the biggest takeaway of this entire ordeal is the fact that Bitcoin mining survived its greatest stress test yet, with little drama. Quote, "The Bitcoin network withstood an attack by a major superpower and emerged stronger than ever 6 short months later. How can anyone ever argue, but what if nations ban it again?" When half the Bitcoin network went dark this spring, many experts said that miners would come back online in North America. A lot of predictions were also made about the timeline to restore the network to its previous high. No one that CNBC spoke to thought the network would bounce back by the end of this year, and yet it has. Companies in the US have quietly been boosting their hosting capacity for years, gambling that if adequate infrastructure were in place, miners would set up shop in the US when the time was right. Though the global pandemic shut down large swaths of the economy, government stimulus money proved a boon for US mining companies. People were looking for places to park their cash. The appetite for large-scale investments had never been bigger. A lot of that likely found its way into Bitcoin mining operations in places outside of China. That gamble has paid off. Data from Cambridge University shows that the US is now the #1 destination for Bitcoin miners, eclipsing China for the first time ever. So good to see that crypto is not reliant on China, that we can continue to adapt this money of the future. All right, final article in our crypto news section today is to do with Binance, where our Fox Finance lives on the Binance Smart Chain. Binance re-engaged with FCA to become registered in the UK, from Chenpeng Zhao. After years of ignoring and even flouting open global regulations, 2021 has been a year of reckoning for the Binance exchange. Regulators in over a dozen jurisdictions have booted it out or issued warnings against it. Those include the Financial Conduct Authority, which warned that Binance was operating illegally in the UK earlier this year.
However, in a recent interview, founder and CEO Changpeng Zhao says that the exchange is re-engaged with the watchdog and plans to become registered in the country. Zhao, popularly known as CZ, stated that the exchange was making structural changes to adhere to UK regulations. Quote, we're fully re-engaged there. We're making a number of very substantial changes in organizational structures, product offerings, our internal processes, and the way we work with regulators, he told The Telegraph. We want to continue to establish a presence in the UK and serve UK users in a fully licensed and compliant manner. One of the ways that CZ plans to make Binance compliant in the UK is by creating a local entity, just as it is done in the US or in Singapore, another country where it was forced to temporarily halt services. It also hopes that creating a global base, since it currently has no physical headquarters, will win back the trust of regulators. As CoinGeek reported, the exchange has been exploring countries where it could base its global headquarters. The CEO says he has already decided on the location and Binance will be making the announcement soon. Quote, we understand how lacking physical headquarters affects them, so now we're in the process of setting up real offices, legal entities, a proper board, proper governance structures in most places, including the UK, said CZ. Hoping to win back the FCA, Binance has also been hiring a number of former staff members at the watchdog and a couple of hundred compliance people, CZ told The Telegraph. He added, quote, our team has definitely had very positive interactions with the FCA since then. We requested in-person meetings as soon as we saw that notice, so communication is definitely happening. CZ has accumulated quite a big fortune as the largest shareholder of an exchange that processes about $100 billion in trading volume daily. However, he insisted that he doesn't care much about personal wealth and doesn't even know how much he's worth. He further revealed that he intends to step away in the next 5 to 10 years as the Binance CEO. He would like for the person who takes over to have a strong compliance background. So that's an article from Steve Carew about Binance. So good to see that efforts are being made to increase regulatory approval and coordination for Binance, and that's making the future look a lot more stable. So good to know. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of Crypto News on FoxDen Radio. Let's finish up with one last track by Future Primitive. This one's one of my favorites. It's called Samskara Portal Number 1. So hope you all have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you next week on FoxDen Radio.